Okay, so let me take care of a few things here. I'm going to hide that. If I hide this, I'm going to throw that in the trash. Where's my sound? I don't get any sound. Hang on. It should be built on internal speakers. All right, so now. So the last time all right, in this video, we're going to pick up from where we left off the other day. We had imported this footage in. It is now in bins or folders. Now, yours may look like this. Mine is a list, but if you may have this clicked, and that would be an icon view, and it would say, okay, the stand-ups has 3 items in it, Soundbites has 5 items, B-roll has 23. You can change the size of your icons with this. What is this? You can sort them. You can free arrange them if it's not sorted. Let's see. Oh, right here. Here's the free arrange. My bad. Not sure why you would want this. Make them smaller. Put that over here, over here. Okay, I'm going to start over. So in this video, we're going to pick up from where we left off the other day. You should already have your footage in these folders, these bins. And I want you to notice that right now it says Project Mudhouse. And I don't have a timeline in here. And now you may be seeing your footage in list view, which is if you have this button clicked, that's list view. Or you can have icon view. Icon view just puts them in a grid and it'll tell you how many are in there. You can also have them in a free form moving. Now, what does it actually say? Yeah, free form. And this is icon view and that's list view. And when it's in free form, you can move these around. It might be more useful if we had more space. Then I'm going to keep mine in list view and I'm going to show you a couple things. First of all, if I double click one of these, notice what happened. I still have Project Mudhouse, but now this showed up. It says bin, B-roll. Bin is just like a folder. Think of it as a bin you might put a bunch of clips in. And I believe back in the day when they cut up clips, they would put it in a bin. Anyway, we could look up some history on that. And now you see the contents of the B-roll bin, which is, there are 23 clips in there. As I scroll up and down, you can see, there they are. If I come back to Mudhouse and I open up Soundbites, notice the B-roll bin moves over and now Soundbites is open and you can see I have 4 or 5. I have 5 Soundbites in here and I still have Mudhouse right here. Then if I go to stand-ups, I can open that up. And now the B-roll bin is off to the side and I get these arrows. So in a small window, I could drag this out, which would be nice. I could see everything. I could see my sound bites, my bin, and all that, and Mudhouse. And I could actually make this just a little bit bigger so I can see more of them. In fact, I could stretch this up all the way. I could stretch this up all the way. But there's a much easier way to manage things. So let me show you that. First of all, I'm going to set this back to normal. So under my editing layout, these 3 little lines here, some people call them the hamburgers, but you click on that and click reset to saved layout and that'll go back to normal. Now I'm going to show you with this blue. In other words, if you click any area, you get a blue border. But with this one blue, press the tilde key on your keyboard, which is right up, it's on the left side, below the escape key, at least on my keyboard, and above the tab key on my keyboard. So I press that, and it expands that particular area, that panel, to the maximum space that'll fit. So now I can double click B-roll, and there I am. Go back to Mudhouse, double click sound bites, there you go. And I see everything. It shows me all this information. That now if I press the tilde key again, it's that wavy key. If I press it again, it goes back to normal. I don't get to see all that when I'm in this small view. If I click that, then yeah. So very handy keyboard shortcut. It's the tilde key. Again, it's below the escape key, at least on my keyboard, and above the tab key. It's to the left of the number 1 on the left side of my keyboard. So let me press that again, tilde key, and I can say I have sound bites open, the B-roll bin, and so on. And all these others we'll get into later, but right now, sound bites, B-roll. Let me open up the stand-ups. So now I have stand-ups, sound bites, B-roll. You could also, instead of opening, now, okay, so if I want to shut these or close these, I'm going to close the panel, click on the hamburger, that's what people call it, click on stand-ups, close it, and then come back to Mudhouse. Now I could also just click these triangles and show all of them inside, much like you would navigating on your computer. It shows me everything in there, and then if I don't want one open, I can just close it and I can still see where they are. But that depends on how much space you have on your screen. I have a very large monitor. I could expand this. You know, I've only got this open to a 1280 by 720 resolution, but my monitor could be much higher than that. Anyway, so depending on your screen size, you may or may not find this helpful. I'm going to press the tilde key one more time so you can see again what I'm dealing with. I can only see basically 3 or 4 things at once, and it would be very hard to go through all of this stuff. So let me close these. Close that, close that. I can see basically 3 things. I could do the same thing here. So let me open up stand-ups. Actually, let me double click. And I'm going to double click stand-up number 1. Now that puts it right here. Stand-up number 1. And you may not notice, but I had already done something that I was trying to undo. I wonder if I can remove those. Can I remove those? No, never mind. I had already set endpoints on here. Endpoints and outpoints. This is where this gray area, let me do the tilde key on this window. So you'll see this whole line all the way across here represents everything in this video clip. Everything here. But this part, the part before the gray, is footage I've chosen not to use. This gray right in here is footage I've chosen to use. And then over here is stuff I'm leaving out. So it's kind of like I'm cutting off the edges before and after. But this, I didn't do any thinking with this, so I need to expand. Now, I could click and drag out and find out when she starts to talk. And I've seen this enough that I could see she's starting to talk right there. I may want to go right to there. Then come over here and grab this out point, and I'm going to slide it. I know she's going to stop talking right here. Right there when she closes her mouth. There. If I go any further, let me move this playhead. If I go much further, you'll see a guy in the window. See him just kind of walking by. I know we don't want him. I also know at the beginning, she kind of adjusts herself. The camera's still moving a little bit, but the camera kind of settles down, and we go right there. Another way, let me totally mess those up, of setting in and out points. Excuse me, is first of all, to play the clip, I'm going to put my right 3 fingers on the J, K, and L key, and my thumb is on the space bar. And I'm going to tap the space bar. And I'm going to tap the space bar again when I see her start talking.
Everybody knows to come down.
Right there. Everybody knows to come down to the Mudhouse. So I'm going to use my J key and play it backwards. And I'm going to try to hit the space bar when I don't hear any sound and when I know she's starting to talk. So let me J key. So right here. And I'm going to go back just a little bit. I might have to fine tune with my mouse. So she's right there. I'm going to start right there. Now, another way of setting an endpoint. Okay, one way is to click right here and drag. Another way is to, with my playhead already there, I could just click that button and make an endpoint. That just marked it there. I'm going to undo that. Control Z. An easier way, rather than using your mouse, is use a keyboard shortcut. Notice the gray comment underneath there. It says mark in, and it has the letter I. So if I press the letter I right now, so right there, this little symbol popped up, and this part got deselected. That's a shortcut for an endpoint. An outpoint is going to be the same thing with the letter O. So I'm going to play this all the way through. And she says, but nobody wants coffee when it's 105 degrees. When she stops, I know she'll close her mouth because I've seen this a bazillion times. So here we go.
Everybody knows to come downtown to the Mud House for a great cup of coffee, but nobody wants coffee when it's 105 degrees.
All right, I see the shadow of the guy in the glass. I'm going to try this one more time. I'm going to hit the J key and the space bar. Space bar, and I'm going to play it one more time. There you go. 105 degrees. I'm going to fine tune this a little bit. I could do it with my arrow keys forward and back, but I see the guy's shadow coming out. I just don't want to see his shadow. I'm going to back it up a little bit. And I don't want her mouth to be open because that's kind of goofy. So I'm going to come over here right before the shadow, back up. You can see where I'm at. If you pay attention to this number here, it's like I'm at the 10-second and 4 frames in. Somewhere around there, so that'll be good. Maybe 10 seconds and 7 frames. It doesn't matter. But once I've got it, and I could use the arrow keys too, left and right. So back with the arrow keys, frame, 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 frame. Maybe right there. And then I'll press the letter O, and I've got my out point. From here to here is my out point. So now, let me press the tilde key, because right now I'm zoomed in on this. I'll press tilde. And I'm back to my normal view, and I want to put this in my timeline. You simply just grab this and put it down. Just drop it anywhere in here. Drop media here to create a sequence. I drop it, it goes in there, and a couple things happened. I get a whole bunch of tools. This changed, and this changed. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to hit the tilde key to show you more of that. And you will see, if I come back to Project Mudhouse, it now created a timeline right in here. Right there. You can see it created a timeline or sequence. And it's called Stand Up 1 because, let me hit tilde again, because that's the clip I dragged in first. If I had dragged in a B-roll clip, it would have called it that. But I know I don't want this to be called Stand Up. In fact, let me hit tilde so I got more space to work with. I want this to be called Mudhouse. So I'm just going to click on the name and then click one more time. If it's already selected, just click one more time, move away, and I'm going to call it Mudhouse. And hit enter. And now hit the tilde key. You notice my sequence got called Mudhouse. Now, if I want to see my Mudhouse sequence or timeline larger, I'm just going to hit the tilde key. And there's a keyboard shortcut to zoom this to fit, which is from previous lessons. It is the backslash key, which is below, it's below the backspace key and above the return key on your keyboard. I'm just going to press that once and it zooms this to fit. Couple of the tips I want to show you. If you move your mouse right here, there's, see these gray lines? On the left side, I can click this gray line here and I can drag this up to where I see more of this. Otherwise, it's just a blue bar and I can't really tell what it is. But if I click and give myself more room, I can see, oh, this is that girl talking. And the same thing with the audio. Right now, I can't see much, but if I want to really see where the sound starts and stops, like right here, I can see this is where she says everybody. Right there, I can't, spacebar.
Everybody knows to come downtown to the Mud
I mean, I might want to cut it right there. I can see the audio there. I've got a few frames, maybe looks like 5 or 6 or 7 frames before she talks. But personally, my personal taste is I don't like to have like 0 frames before she starts talking. Like she talks on the 8th frame. I'm watching this number here. And really, 5 or 6 frames is not that much of a second. It's like 1/5 of a second. Or anyway, so I'm going to hit play, spacebar.
Everybody knows to come downtown to the Mud House for a great cup of coffee, but nobody wants coffee when it's 105 degrees.
All right. So she says 105 degrees right here. And this is the word degrees finishing off. And this is the word everybody. So anyway, we can take care of the trimming later. So I'm going to press tilde again. I don't want to do any more right now. So I'm going to hit save. You can tell I've got something that's been saved. Oh, look at that. It automatically saved. I didn't do that. There's a star here. And on my Mac, I've got a dot here, which means I haven't saved. So I'm going to go to File and hit Save, or the keyboard shortcut, Command S or Control S on a Windows computer. It saves, and the asterisk goes away, and that goes away. And that's enough for today.